What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Let's take a look at 77084. So 77084 is an interesting deep dive if you're moving into the Houston market or you're moving around in the Houston market. So what you have here is is basically the nearest Houston area to the Katy market. So why is that important? Well, first of all, some of it is in the Katy market. Okay. Uh, and secondly, as that loads, here are the costs of purchasing a home in that area over the past 5 years. So you see that it's not a sharp rise. So you had over from 17 to 20, you had you didn't have that sharp of a rise, but obviously in the last year and a half, 2 years, it's a completely different story, right? Now, compared to the rest of the market, it's not as uh, dramatic. Um, let's see here. Great. So everything west of here is Katy. Down here is Katy, everything west. So you see here how it touches the Houston area. Now, if you're looking to invest, that means buying rentals, or even if you're looking at flipping opportunities. I think this is a great market exactly for that. I actually uh, have a family member who has lots of rentals in this area. So we're going to take a look at those rent prices, but as far as the living here, so there is this FEMA um, flood map that we would want to look at because not just during Harvey, but because during other times in its history, this area has seen some major flooding. So what we want to do is make sure that you go to this FEMA flood map and you type in the address, or if you're looking at a specific property, your realtor will be able to provide that for you. It should be part of the listing. And just make sure there's different rankings as far as um, the likelihood of a flood is in that specific area or neighborhood. But that's information that's easy to obtain. And but just keep in mind that a flood or an event like Hurricane Harvey can happen. So that's not something that's predictable by a FEMA flood map. Okay. And then also there's areas of the Houston market where the some of the floods were forced, and we're not going to get into that. But just remember that also. So when it comes to living here, so typically we're looking at areas as far west as possible, right? And then a lot of this, and last I checked, the entire zip code, you're looking at a 40 or 50% rental rate. It might be higher because the last time I looked at it was last year. So about let's say about a 50% rental rate, meaning half the people that live there are renting a home there. Or there's lots of apartments also, which is true. I actually lived in a one bedroom apartment there. Uh, yeah, in that area. Um, but let's look at that. This is very exciting for anybody that's looking to uh, put money to work in an investment sense, or if you're just looking for a home uh, that won't cost you any more than $250,000. So when it comes to the listing price, that's the wrong metric. When it comes to the listing price versus the price that it actually sold at, what we are actually seeing is that even with all the market volatility lately, you're seeing homes that are actually selling under the listing price. So this would be a great place to look. Let's get a little closer to the past 12 months. So as you see here, the green represented by the price that it came to market at, and it's only been in the last few months where they're a little closer together. So think of it as a great opportunity to get in on your starter home, and if you decide not to stay there, that's fine. Uh, it's a great rental market. Let's look at a few of these, and I mean that just because you can go in on something fairly cheaply and still recuperate some of your initial investment um, whenever you do decide to leave for a different area. Okay, so we're going to go into 77 here, and we're going to look at, this is not by any stretch of the imagination how you should calculate rentals, but it gives you a good idea of where the average home, let's say, last I checked, the most desirable home, whether to buy or to lease, is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And it's typically between 1,300 to 1,700. For some weird reason, when it gets outside of that, prices actually drop per square foot. So whenever we're looking at these rentals, we're looking at, okay, per square foot, how much is the landlord getting for these properties? So you're seeing here on the low end, 88 cents. And then on the high end, we're looking at $1.32, right? So we can conservatively say that you're getting about $1. So you see how the correlation here is that the higher price per square foot, you're actually in the 13 to 15 or 17 square foot range. I'm sorry, the 13 to 16 square foot range, right? So whenever you find something that's closer to 1,700 square feet, you're actually going to be closer to this first page here. Low, crazy, right? So you want to stay in between, I would say 14 to 16 would be a good range. And then those are going to come in between $1, $1.05 a foot whenever you do decide to actually rent it. So I hope this helps in making a decision in purchasing in the area. I hope it works for you, and I'll see you on the next one.